guys, welcome back to Stanbony on YouTube. I'm going ahead with the Defcon1 build. Just give a quick update on what's going on here. We added a few things here. Sorry, it's going slow. I've been sick for the last 4 days with the flu. Feeling better now. But we did accomplish a couple things. So let's go over what we did. See what you think, all right? And any ideas, just run them by me. Let me know what you think. So what we did was we installed the radiators, and we installed the chipset block. And we're going to take a look at how it was installed, what you're going to need to know if you're going to install a chipset block, and a couple other things, and where we're going to go. Alright guys, well, what we have here is EK chipset water block installed. Alright, we showed you last time. 6 gig of Dominator GT memory installed. Now let me tell you about this water block installation. When you take the north bridge off, alright, and the south bridge and then a couple other coolers, you're not going to be using most of the screws that were there originally. What comes with the water block is little standoffs and the proper screws for this water block. Now, what they actually did was they added a few areas. You could probably just see a little bit of the thermal compound behind this chip back here. I'm not even sure what this chip does. Probably has something to do with the memory, but there's little standoffs that have to be placed underneath here, and it's a very difficult thing to do to get the standoffs in correctly. You don't really need to use them, but what they're there for is so you don't over tighten the screws and crack the board or damage the water block. So if you're using a moderate amount of pressure tightening the screws, you should have no problem. We did use the standoffs, okay, and it was very difficult to do by myself, although I did do it. And what you have to do is you have to lay the motherboard on a piece of cardboard, and as you slide you place all the standoffs on it, place the water block on there, and you slide the motherboard kind of off the cardboard. Let's say this was a piece of cardboard, and as the motherboard comes off, you tighten one at a time. Okay, it is very difficult to get all these standoffs in there. I can't stress it enough. It took me about 2 hours to do it the proper way. All right, using the new thermal compound, the new thermal pads that come with it. There's a couple different sizes, thicknesses. It is not a very fun thing to do, okay, but it's installed, it's looking good, and the motherboard is pretty much ready for the chip and the cards. Okay, on to the okay. Now what you have is you have the two radiators for the video cards. All right, they're dual pass 360 radiators from Coolants. They're really nice radiator. They're small, but they dissipate 1,000 watts a piece. Okay. Now, this is mounted on a rubber mount, so you can actually see the movement of the radiator. It's in there sturdy, but it's rubber mounted, so any vibration that is felt will be absorbed by that, and there won't be any noise, any vibration from anything. It still does have to come apart because between the fan and the radiators, we need to put filters in there. We want to be able to see the fan's nice orange color in the front. Alright, but this comes apart real easy. And also, when it is all assembled again with the filters in there, the Enermax Magma fans can be popped out, the filters can be vacuumed off or cleaned, and then the fans simply pop back on. So no need to ever disassemble this again unless you have a problem. Alright, so we're going to have two 360s running the video cards. Alright, and now let's take a look at the CPU water cooling. Okay, on the back side here of the case is where the CPU radiator is going to be, which will also be cooling the north bridge, another 1,000 watt dissipating radiator. It's in here temporarily just with wire ties because we're going to need to rubber mount this and install the fans in here with the filters also. Okay, so you'll have about 3,000 watts of dissipating power. All right, where there's plenty of space to lay your power supply and water pumps. All right, we're going to run two water pumps. We're going to run two Anaheim Red Series water pumps. They're very powerful. They're basically pond pumps. All right, and we should have no problem with dissipating the heat from the components. Now, the theory behind the airflow here, let's take a look at that. Okay, looking straight above the radiators are two 120 millimeter holes, okay, which are going to be exhaust fans. All right, we're going to be running two 6,000 RPM deltas that are, they're probably going to be either on an on-off switch or variable. I'm not sure yet how I want to set that up, but I want to be sure I can remove as much cubic feet of air as I can, or as much as being pumped into the case. Then on the back side you see the one more exhaust fan above the expansion slots. That will also be another delta fan. Alright, so we're going to have at least 750 cubic feet of air removal at disposal if we need it. Alright, but it's nice to be able to remove as much heat that is pumped in or air that is pumped in out of your case. Alright, you want to get that fine pressure to where all the temperatures run nice, and that is what we're going to be sure that we have enough exhaust as we do intake. Okay, now let's take a look at let's take a look at some of the upcoming things, and we'll talk about it, and take it from there, guys. Well, it's starting to come together, Defcon 1, slowly but surely. The Ascension case is a real nice case to work with, as you can see how easy everything's accessible. We're going to start looking at some componentry for the front, controllers, what we're going to decide to do, how we're going to run wire management, and things like that next. So that'll probably be the next video. Hopefully we'll be getting one up in a little, soon. Alright, but that's where we stand right now with the Defcon 1 build. And thanks for following this, and any ideas you have, throw them towards me. Alright, we are building the monster here. This is built for speed. Alright, and it's built to perform. And any ideas, I can tell you what, 360 water block is probably going to be put in. I'm debating on that or the red acrylic EK water block. I got a couple friends out there know a lot of things about this stuff, giving me some advice along the way. Whatever I can't come up with, maybe they can come up with, and it's looking really good, guys. So let's get this bad boy going, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks for